Okay, in this lesson we're going to simplify expressions that have the same variable in them several times. So in these very simple examples, um, here we have a 2x and an 3x. So those both have an x in them. But if you notice that you can factor out the x out of these first two terms and get 2 plus 3x. And that's very similar, or exactly like what we did in earlier lessons. So 2 plus 3, as you well know, is 5. And so we get 5x minus 15. And the effect would have been the same without doing this step of using factoring, is just to add the coefficient of x here with the coefficient of x here, and straight off the mark you get 5x minus 15. So there's not much more to it than that. So we'll look at an example here. So we have 5x minus 3x minus 4y plus y. So two of them have x's, these two have x's, and these two have y's. So 5x minus 3x, so 5 minus 3 is 2x. And here it's important to remember that this is minus 4x, so you can think of this minus sign going with the thing after it all the time. So anytime you've got a term like this and there's a sign in front of it, it's a plus, it goes with this. If it's a minus, it goes with this. Most people don't get confused when this is a plus sign, though. When it's a minus sign, somebody might look at this and say 4 plus y. Well, 4 plus 1y is 5, but in fact it's minus 4y, minus 4y plus y. So there's minus 4 of them here, there's 1 of them here, so that should be minus 3y. So just be careful that if you've got a minus sign, it goes with the thing right after it, and they're stuck together as a unit. Okay, so next we can do this in steps. So if you want to simplify this in some sense, the word simplify is a bit loaded, but if you want to simplify this down to something smaller, well, first what you do is you distribute everything. So you'd get 3x minus 6 plus 10 minus 4x. So hopefully you got that. So let's see. This 3x and the 4x are kind of far away from each other, but hopefully you've seen before that you can rearrange these things. So what you end up with is 3x, and then the minus sign goes with the thing after it. So minus 4x minus 6, whoopsie, minus 6 plus 10. Okay, so 3x minus 4x, so 3 minus 4 is minus 1x, so just minus x is the same thing as minus 1x, plus 4. So this expression here is the same as this expression here. And when we say two expressions are the same, it means that if we swapped out x for any number here, so if we change these x's both to 1s, we would end up with the same thing as if we exchange that for a 1. But of course in this bottom one, it's much easier to see. If you make this x equal to 1, then this would be 3. And so hopefully at the top, the same thing is true. So let's just look at that over here. Draw a little line here. So 3 times 1 minus 2 plus 2 times 5 minus 2 times 1 is 2. So let's see, this is minus 3 plus 2 times 3 is 6. So this is 3. And of course that's 3 as well. Well, sorry, this looks like I'm making that 3. If this is 1, then this is equal to 3. So that's what equivalent expressions mean, is that if you substitute in something for x here, you should get the same thing as if you do it at the end. Okay, so let's try another example. So very similar to the last one. So 18x minus 6, and then minus 7 plus x. Minus x is plus x. And then we've got 18x plus x is 19x minus 13. So that's, expand and simplify sometimes, or expand and collect like terms. So here's another one just to drive the point home. It's really just the same thing but a bit longer. So minus x plus 2 plus 15x plus 3 minus 14x, and then remember this all goes together, minus 2. So how many x's do we have? Well, here we've got minus x plus 15x minus 14x, so that's 0x. 0x. That's 0 times x. 0 times anything gets annihilated, so that's just gone. And then what do we have? 2 plus 3 minus 2 is 3. So this whole thing just simplifies to 3. So no matter what you put in for x here, it's just going to be 3 every time. So if you like, this is just a fancy way of writing 3. But it's much nicer to know that than to keep dealing with this thing every time. It's a bit unwieldy compared to just the number 3.